Welcome back to the Byron and Pace show.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. We're off on TikTok virality right now, so I'm sure we've actually got some listeners this time.
Yeah, shit. And it's been a week since we made a video. Pass me the bottle.
Yeah, we're going to get some whiskey out. Thank you very much.
One for you, one for me. Let's not talk about how early it is to be drinking whiskey.
And it's 35 degrees.
My God. Thankfully, we got the AC pumping. You want to put that back?
Yep.
So,
I did want to say, first episode with fan submissions.
oh God. Yeah, they're pouring in.
Well, sort of.
For me, they are.
Not for me.
No one wants to, because I think they like the way that I tell the stories better.
Yeah, well, I don't think so. I think the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll go first. I've got
Okay.
some short ones this week.
Okay.
I've got some short and sharp ones. We've had a few tangents. We've done some longer ones. So I don't know how long this episode is going to be. That being said, every week we're like, oh, this will be a short episode, and it goes for 25 minutes because we just like riff.
Because we're terrible at telling short stories.
So to kick it off,
Okay.
I want to do one on theme, very on theme right now. Spider-Man Homecoming's, no, Spider-Man, I forgot what it's called. The new Spider-Man movies are out.
Okay.
So I got Spider-Man 1. So
Okay.
this is from the iconic moment in the 2002 Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
a
I know the
scene
one.
that I'm sure you remember where Mary Jane slips over and his spider reflexes kick in and he catches her, and then he catches her tray and catches like 5 objects at
Right.
once.
Yeah, at school or something.
Yeah, it's cool. That's exactly it. Now, most people would assume that was CGI. It wasn't.
Fuck off.
It took 156 attempts and over 50 hours of filming until he finally landed all 4 items at once.
With what?
He just catches it.
Shit.
Because they fall from the ground. It's like an apple, a juice box, and like all this stuff. And it took him 156 attempts of filming before he caught her and managed to catch everything at once.
It's like those trick shots you see on TikTok.
Yeah, literally. And so basically they glued the tray to his hand, and he just did take after take after take. Sam Raimi, who's the director, argued with Sony for a long time to keep the scene in because they knew it was going to take so long.
Yeah.
Ended up being one of the most iconic scenes.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I like of the scenes in the movie, that's one of the only ones I can remember.
yeah. And I mean, I guess, and it was in 2002, but keep in mind CGI, it was still very achievable with CGI. Like they could have done it in CGI.
So why?
Unless it's false.
Oh my God. I hate this game. I reckon it's true.
It's true.
Yes. Let's
Yeah,
go.
it's true.
Points on the board.
It was revealed in the DVD commentary that the scene was done without CGI. This means he had to catch Kristen, the tray, and all the food himself. You can only imagine how difficult that would be with all the cameras fixed on you, the pressure, let alone just to
it
make that
looks
one
fake.
shot. Yeah, it ended up taking 156 takes. And they glued it to his hands, and it's one of the most iconic scenes.
That's sick. Nice. All right. Nice. Good start. Okay. Do you want to have a fan led one, or do you want a pace round off original?
The pace round off on a build up to the fan ones.
All right. Have you heard about the secret 6th member of Nsync?
No, I didn't even realize there were 5.
Okay, so the secret member of Nsync, right? Lou Pearlman, he was the manager, and he formed the Backstreet Boys, and then later he formed Nsync. So he's like the genius behind boy bands
He's a puppet master.
in the 2000s. He kept Nsync a secret from the Backstreet Boys because they were in direct competition with each other. Now, Nsync, after 3 years of nonstop work, tens of millions of record sales, they were like the biggest band in the world at that time. Their manager, Lou, invited them to an expensive restaurant for a ceremony to give them their first big paycheck. Because up until that time, for like 3 years, they had been on an allowance of $35 a day. These are like the biggest pop stars in the world.
Wow.
They were just working all the time. Like they didn't really have time to do anything else. They thought they were about to become millionaires. Like they've talked about this. And when they opened their checks, the whole family was there. Like he'd set it all up. Everyone got $10,000. And they were like, fuck, like we've been literally playing sold out shows for 3 years. And they were like, okay, something's fucked up. And apparently he had done the same thing to the Backstreet Boys, where they were like, they had made $10 million as a band, and the band as a whole had only seen $300,000. So they started calling their lawyers, and they were like, they eventually managed to find a clause in the contract, which meant they were able to get out of the contract. But then Lou Pearlman sued Nsync, because he was like, actually, I'm the 6th member of the band, and I own the name Nsync. And he sued them for $150 million, saying that he was Nsync, and he deserves all their money. But they managed to get it thrown out of court, and he died during an FBI trial for a Ponzi scheme. But eventually, they managed to get all their money back. But for the first 3 years of their life as the biggest band in the world, they had no money.
I mean, that's like us though. That's like any creatives. I mean,
True.
it's hard to feel any sympathy for them because, I mean, now they're worth whatever they want to be.
Sure.
Especially like Justin Timberlake.
I think they did
But
lose a
that's
shitload of money though because it was
still
the worst.
insane.
It's like one of the worst contracts that anyone's ever signed.
Right. It's true, surely.
It is true.
Yeah. Nice. That's a good one. That's a real good one. And so what happened to the Backstreet Boys? Same thing.
Same thing. They met like this guy eventually imploded. The whole thing was like a big Ponzi scheme, but he created the two biggest boy bands ever, pretty much.
I was about to say, how do you stuff up so bad? All you have to do is pay them like
Literally.
a bit more money.
But I guess if you're that greedy, it becomes like a psychosis thing. I don't know. But like, yeah, man.
Sick. All right. Can you just move it up top that way a bit?
Right, up top?
Significantly. Yeah, that's better.
Nice. It's too fucking big. Anyway.
All right. Move on. Now, you probably know this one because I've shared it before, but did you know that you can find out who the bad guy is in any film just by seeing what Apple products they use?
I have heard this. I
From
don't know
me?
exactly what it is, but I've heard that they do like weird shit in films.
So this was revealed by Knives Out director Ryan Johnson, which is a guest movie to figure out who the bad guy is. Now that you know, if you watch the movie, the bad guy never has any Apple products on him because Apple can't be seen having Apple products as the bad guy. Not only that, in the hero's journey, which is a famous storytelling structure, there's always a point where the hero dips down here and at their lowest point.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
that's the part of the journey that we're in.
Yeah, that's us. But then the highest point is when they pick themselves back up.
Yeah.
Apple pays a premium for them to use an Apple product when they're at the lowest point to pick themselves back up.
No shit.
And on the reverse, companies like Dell or Michael Dell doesn't give a shit and he'll just have laptops use whatever. So like in Transformers, all the hackers and all the evil Transformers are using Dell computers. Yeah. But you'll never see a villain using an Apple computer because that's how big they are on branding.
Wow. I wonder how much money they spend on that a year.
Millions and billions probably. It's insane. But so Knives Out's a great example because Chris Evans, spoiler, maybe we'll cut it out. Chris Evans is a bad guy, but he never sees it. And everyone else has got Apple watches, they've got Apple products and everything.
Yeah.
Not him.
Interesting. I think it's true. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
The story's true.
Yeah.
The story's true. It's hard to know because Apple doesn't exactly publicly announce this stuff.
Sure.
But Ryan Johnson sharing that said it was true. And he directed the movie. He was told for that. He said he's shot himself in the foot for any future murder mysteries now.
Isn't it crazy that there's literally only like two competitors in that space? And one is the evil genius, like the evil geniuses one, and one is the good guys.
Well, it's like, you know how when you see someone using like, clearly it's a MacBook, but they've just put a sticker over like the Apple?
Like this?
Yeah, like that. You can still see it. That's just because they haven't paid the rights to use it.
Yeah, right. Which we definitely haven't.
No. So that's why it's out of the shot.
Yeah, nice. But we're using it at the point in our story where we're becoming the heroes.
That's it. Exactly.
So
depending on your perspective.
Shit. All right. Have you seen The Godfather?
Actually, I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I can't believe I haven't seen it. It's like one of the most iconic movies.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter. There's a famous scene in The Godfather where there's a famous scene in The Godfather where someone wakes up and there's a severed horse head in the bed.
Yeah, I actually know that scene.
All right. So this was actually filmed using a real horse head. And the director, Francis Coppola, insisted on having a real horse head. And he wanted a real reaction from the actor. So they didn't tell the actor who was waking up in the bed that it was going to be a real horse head with real blood everywhere.
And smell.
Totally. So the props department went to the racetrack in Hollywood and said, okay, look, the next time a horse dies, let us know. And it took about 2 weeks. But eventually a horse broke its leg and they approached the owner because the horse gets put down, right? Yeah. They approached the owner and they paid him $2,000 for the body. They decapitated it for the scene, but they needed a black horse because in the movie the horse was black. Right. So they had to dye the hair black on the dead horse. God. And then that was used in the scene and the reaction is the real reaction from the actor.
That's mad. It has to be true.
It's bullshit.
Oh, you got me.
But
shit.
It was a real horse head.
That's
but
good.
They planned to use a fake, but he wasn't satisfied with the fake. So they found a horse that was scheduled to die at a dog food manufacturer nearby. And the scene was filmed with that horse, but the actor knew and it was all planned.
Oh, okay. So, Dan, I like your one better. Going on to that.
Okay.
I've got a story which leads straight into that.
Yeah.
So, Jackie Cooper was 8 years old when he starred in the 1931 film Skippy. When Jackie couldn't summon tears for a scene, director Norman Tarog removed Jackie's pet dog from the set and shot the dog.
What?
This caused Jackie to cry hysterically and delivered a performance that won him an Oscar.
What?
It was only revealed after that Jackie didn't actually shoot the dog, but pretended to, and so the dog was fine and healthy.
No way.
50 years later,
50 years.
50 years later, Jackie wrote a now famous biography sharing the ins and outs of early Hollywood films, what it was like working with some of the most iconic actors in the day. The name of the book, Please Don't Shoot My Dog.
No way. That's genius. It's got to be true.
It's true.
That's so clever.
Mad. Yeah, it's sick.
An Oscar-winning performance because he thought, that's got to be
And
heartbreaking.
he didn't even do it.
Yeah.
He just fired like a blank or whatever. It's Kingsman. You know Kingsman?
Yeah.
That's like the final test of the Kingsman, remember? They've
Oh,
got to shoot their own dog.
I haven't seen the film.
Oh, oops. The final, they get like a puppy, and they've got to have the puppy the whole time with them. And then once there's only 2 people left, and they say, "Here's a gun, shoot your dog," and then it's like a blank.
Right.
And so that was the whole test.
Oh my God. Any movies with scenes like that, like I Am Legend, where he's got to kill his dog, just like, it's too much, man.
That's the worst thing when he's like choking it.
Yeah.
And Hachi, have you seen Hachi?
No. I don't want to see it anymore.
Do you know the story of Hachi?
Yeah, go on.
It's this dog that as soon as I say so basically this guy goes to work every day and the dog waits outside the train station all day for him to come home from work.
Yeah.
For years and years and years. Everyone knows him. Then one day he goes to work and has a heart attack and dies and he never comes back.
Yeah.
So the dog waits there for like 5 years.
Isn't that hard?
5 years. And it's like the saddest movie.
A cat would never do that.
A cat would never do that because cats are bitches.
All right, I want to do a fan submission.
Yeah, I'm keen for fan
This
submission.
is the first ever fan submission on the Byron and Pace show. So we have a submission from Billy Boy 006. That's his Instagram handle. All right, 2 identical twins were separated at birth, but they ended up living identical lives. Have you heard this story?
Maybe. I think I've heard a few variants.
All right. Somehow they lived exactly the same life. Both had foster parents. Both were called James, but were called Jim for short.
No way.
Both had a brother called Larry.
No.
Both had a dog named Toy.
No.
Both married women named Linda.
No.
When this didn't work out, they both divorced Linda and went on to marry women called Betty. Both Jims had a son and chose the name James Allen. The only difference was one of the Allens was spelt with 1 L. Okay, the brothers still don't know each other. They've had families and all the rest of it, right? Both were chain smokers. Both suffered from migraines. Both drove Chevys. One worked as a sheriff. One worked as a security guard. It wasn't until the age of 39 that their paths eventually crossed. Obviously, this is like the craziest coincidence ever. It made the news like shocking millions of people. They eventually went on to do a study to like study how this could possibly have happened. Turns out they had identical brainwaves because they were like literally the same person. Is that true though?
It can't be. It can't be. This is the most insane one yet. Because what the hell does a name have to do with, like, marrying the same girl with the same name makes no sense, surely. So you don't marry a girl based on their name.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I have to say it's fake.
It's true.
I knew it was true, but like,
Got him.
I reckon that's not true. I
I
reckon
looked
there
it
has
up,
to be
dude.
some made
I
up
looked
stuff.
it up. There's photos of them and everything.
How?
I don't know.
It's, not
It's like nominative determinism to the fucking nth degree.
But like, if you go to like nature versus nurture, I guess they're the
It's all
same because they
bullshit.
grew up in
It's all
foster.
bullshit. Or is it?
But I just don't get how. I guess naming your son if you got the same brainwave, but I don't get marrying the same woman.
Maybe you just looked like a fucking Jim.
Oh my god!
Straight out of the womb.
Do you reckon people look like their names?
Who knows,
Or do we
man?
associate their names?
Who
with them?
knows? Like, how could you possibly know? But there's other crazy twin stories.
I was about to
but
say, I haven't heard that
This is
one.
the wildest one.
That's the wildest one. I've heard other ones which are nowhere near as wild as that. I've heard other ones where it's just like, they grew up very similar lives and then they met.
Yeah.
Like I saw a documentary or something.
There was 2 Korean ones. One grew up in America and one grew up in Korea. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how crazy. All
That's a
right.
rip-
Shout out to Billy Boy
That's a ripple
006.
one. That's a ripple
That's probably
one.
that's the best story
I think it's the most insane one.
Yeah.
Like that is hands down the most insane one.
All right. Can you top it?
All right, I'll go with this one then.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
One more each?
Yeah, one more.
Okay.
each. This is similar to The Unluckiest Man.
Mhm.
This is James Dean, Unlucky Car.
Mm-hmm.
In September 1955, James Dean was killed in a horrific car accident whilst he was driving his Porsche sports car. After the crash, the car was seen as very unlucky. Here's the reasons why. When the car was towed away from the accident scene and taken to the garage, the engine slipped out and fell into a mechanic, shattering both his legs.
That's not funny.
Eventually, the engine was bought by a doctor who put it into his racing car and was killed shortly after during a race. Another racing driver in the same race was killed in his car, which had James Dean's drive shaft fitted into it.
No way.
When James Dean's Porsche was later repaired, the garage in it was destroyed by a fire. Later, the car was dismantled in Sacramento, but it fell off its mount and broke a teenager's hip. In Oregon, the trailer that the car was mounted on slipped from the tow bar and smashed through the front of a shop. Finally, in 1956, the car mysteriously broke into 11 pieces while it's sitting on steel supports.
That's bullshit.
It's true.
Ah! How can that possibly be true?
Mate, that's nothing compared to your one.
Wow.
That's where you start to believe, like,
Are all these fucking stories true?
I don't know. Honestly, I mean, a lot of mine are from the internet. So it's like like the bullet one we just posted.
Yeah.
How can anyone verify that?
It's true.
Like it could be complete bullshit. But I don't know. They're fun stories regardless.
Yeah. Imagine if a part of James Dean's car was in the car that killed Paul Walker. Because that was a Porsche as well.
Maybe it was.
Conspiracy theory.
That's where you start to believe that stuff.
All right. Can we get people on TikTok to find that out for us?
Yep. Let's do it.
Shit. Or if you're just listening.
I want to do 2 more.
All right.
I'll do a quick one. Can I do another quick one?
Okay.
This is real quick. I
right.
saw this on TikTok. This is fucking funny, man. All right. So this is, and I quote, I'll tag the person. You think you can't hurt me? When I was 8 years old, I found a cool rock at the beach. I named it and made it my best friend. I took it everywhere with me. Then one time I took it in the bath with me. But suddenly it started dissolving and turns out it was just hardened dog shit.
That's amazing.
I know. Is it true though?
That's brilliant. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, you have to believe it.
Of all the things we've said today,
know.
that's like the most believable.
I was pissing myself though. Like it's pretty rare TikTok makes me like audibly laugh out loud.
Yeah.
So yeah, wanted to share that one.
All right. You know the movie Interstellar?
Love the movie.
Okay. Interstellar. For the movie Interstellar, Christopher Nolan, the director, planted 500 acres of corn just for the film because he didn't want to use CGI for the farm. After filming, he turned it around and sold it for profit on the market.
No, did you just sell it because it was him? It was like, this is the Interstellar corn.
I don't know. This is literally as far as the story goes. Is it true?
True, surely.
Apparently it's true.
Yeah, that's mad.
Apparently it's true.
That's mad. That's crazy because like I'm trying to think how many minutes of scenes there are with the corn, and it's probably like 20 max.
Right. But they're just driving through it and like,
yeah.
Surely you could pay someone. Surely you could pay a farmer.
Imagine having the cornfield that had Interstellar in it.
Yeah.
That you could like, that's a tourist attraction.
True.
It's one of the most iconic movies.
True.
So like someone missed out there, but yeah.
Big time.
Well, leaning on to Matthew McConaughey.
Ooh, shit. All right.
Another Matthew McConaughey scene. So you know The Wolf of Wall Street, right?
I do.
You know the iconic scene with Matthew McConaughey? Yeah, that's it. Did you know that scene was written and scripted by a woman?
What?
It was written and scripted by a woman.
Why is that surprising?
Martin Scorsese actually recruited Jordan Lear, a writer and husband, to not 1, not 2, but 3 hedge fund managers to write a scene from the perspective of a woman who's dealt with cocky and arrogant hedge fund managers her entire life. In a total, the 5-minute script took 3 months to write and went through 25 rounds of revision before making it to the final version we see today. The scene ended up becoming one of the most iconic scenes in cinema history, with Matthew McConaughey delivering a word-perfect performance without missing a single line.
Wow.
Is it true?
Can you read it again?
No. I'm not reading it again.
5 months for one scene.
3 months.
3 months for one scene.
But if you look like the dialogue, like
I believe that they would get it from a perspective of a woman that's dealt with fucking corporate wankers their whole life. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah!
Dude, the whole thing's made up. Do you know the real story?
No.
Oh, you don't know the real story? This is
Okay.
gonna fucking crush it on TikTok.
Oh shit, yeah.
The real story is Matthew McConaughey winged the entire scene. He said like 90% of the
the song.
the whole scene. 90% of it's unscripted. He made it up on the spot.
No.
The whole thing made that up. That wasn't in the script.
Bullshit.
No, I swear to God, the whole thing.
That's like the best. That's like so catchy.
Yeah, the whole thing he made up. Not the whole thing, but like if you watch, there's a Facebook page which has like it plays the script alongside the video.
Right.
It goes to like here and then it just stops for like 3 minutes and then it goes up to other points. He followed the structure of the script, but he made up the whole thing. Martin Scorsese wanted everyone to keep rolling. If you watch Leonardo DiCaprio, he's having like real reactions and he stays in character the whole time.
How does he stay in character? That's
but the whole thing's one take and it's like different angles. All the stuff about, you jerk off. How many times a day do you jerk off? All made up.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Such a sick scene.
And he didn't win an Oscar.
No, I mean, it's only like a 5-minute scene. That's his only shot.
You should be able to win an Oscar for one scene.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously.
But like,
that should be like best scene.
if you should go watch it. He followed the structure.
Yeah.
And he made up like almost all of it, which is why that's going to trigger a lot of people.
Yeah. I reckon that's true.
That is true. Yeah. That's true.
Shit, yeah.
That's really true. So that's a mad scene. But
Nice.
yeah, that's it. You got any more?
I've got heaps more. But
Yeah, I got heaps more, but like, we're at 20 minutes mark.
Last one. Okay, this one's from Ella Mortar at Ella_Mortar. Thank you. Appreciate the submission. So, do you know the origin of the word hangover?
No.
All right. So, in Victorian England, if you were poor.
I've never thought about it.
Right. If you were poor in Yeah. In Victorian England, if you were poor and you needed a place to sleep for the night, there were rooms, which was just a series of ropes tied across like a clothesline, and you could pay 2 pennies and you'd sleep there overnight, just hung over the rope. It was generally used by drunks after a boozy night out, as it was affordable and better than sleeping on the floor.
Right.
Especially if you had to vomit throughout the night because it just fell down your front.
Nice.
Hence the term hangover was associated with feeling awful the next day after a night of drinking, having slept over a rope. Is it
If
true?
you made that up, I'll be amazed. So true.
I didn't make it up. Apparently it's bullshit.
Oh.
Although people think it's true. And I think Ella thought it was true as well. Apparently it's bullshit.
You couldn't find anything.
Hangover actually just means something that's left over from before and has been associated with drinking because you feel shit from the night before.
No, I like the other one.
I know, right? Apparently it's bullshit, but it's a great story. And if you read Down and Out in Paris and London by Orwell, he mentions like the 2 penny like rope.
Right.
So I think there's some truth in it, but it's probably bullshit.
That sounds like torture, sleeping on a rope.
Right.
Like a torture, like...
They say it's more comfortable than you think.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is true. There's heaps of words in the English language we don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like hangover.
I appreciate the submission, although I'm not sure it's true, Ella.
A lot of our stories, again, it's like, how can you verify any of it?
I want to believe it, actually. I'm
believe
going to
it.
decide that it's true.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Placebo.
All right.
It's true.
I got more, but I think
No,
we should wrap it
let's
up
save
there
them. I
today.
got a few more as well, but let's save them. I think this was a good episode. Any final thoughts?
Oh, yeah. So if you go to the link in our bio, if you want to submit stories, we've actually created a Google form now, and you can choose whether to submit to myself or to Byron. It's just super straightforward.
Yeah.
Because we had people DMing us, and I had to like delete the DM and take a screenshot
Well,
of
to
it.
clarify, like, we don't know the stories. We specifically make sure that you don't know the story, so it's a genuine reaction.
Yeah, exactly. So pick one of us and just send it the story. It seems as though most of you guys are choosing me, which is understandable. Anything else? Oh, reviews.
Yeah. We just launched on, I mean, Spotify's great, but Apple Podcasts is where you can actually leave reviews and not just 5 stars,
Right,
but like
okay.
leave a review, which
Yeah.
first of all is validating to us because we get to read them, but
Yeah.
also that pushes it up a lot. So if you leave a review, that would be really, really awesome.
And as I said, if you leave a review, I'll sing you a song through Instagram DMs.
Yes.
So if you leave a review, send a screenshot and send it to us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'll write a song for you. I've already
Yeah.
done it for some people, so it's not bullshit. That is actually
that's fact.
That's fact. Yeah.
We're not using fact or cat. We probably should be saying that, shouldn't we?
Yeah, true.
Oops.
Oh
Next
well.
time.
All right. This has been fun.
It's a good one. Brian and Pace episode number 3. We'll see you next week.
All right.
Merry
ciao.
Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.